they tested the Mr. Olympia for a steroid, 1990. So if you guys that are listening, you go online and you look at Mr. Olympia in 1989 and have a look at the guys, and then have a look at 1990. And the feedback from the crowd was like, what the fuck's this? We don't want to see this. It's just like 15, 20 pounds lighter than last year, you know? So, you know, money talks, and that was the only time that they did it, because the competitors' size and condition was down, obviously. I mean, you can't have that size and condition with like a normal testosterone level. There's levels you can get to. I mean, we could argue where, but steroids have been used in bodybuilding since the early 60s, at least. Larry Scott's the first Mr. Olympia, 1965. Yeah. He's on record saying he was using Dynabol, as is Bill Pearl, Arnold, all those guys were using D-bol back in late 60s, probably early 60s. So we'd have to go back to like possibly Steve Reeves or somebody like that. I mean, you know, that's probably like maybe a bit better now, because we've got maybe a bit more knowledge on training and nutrition and supplements, so we could probably push that a little bit further forward. But I don't know, I was thinking the other day, like I competed at 260, 265, shredded. What would have I competed at if I never took steroids?
Or do you think you would have competed at if you competed naturally?
If I never took steroids? Well, I was 210, 215 in my first contest. And I just started like a couple of months before, very low doses. So if I had more time, I'm sure I could achieve that. I'm having a wild guess here, maybe 40 pounds lighter. Maybe like 215, 220. Yeah. I think, well, you know, you get to a point where, you know, you put stress on your body, it reacts. You put stress on your body, it reacts. But then there's like a governor almost. It's like, you know, like in a car and a motorbike, they used to have a governor, it only goes this far, and that's it, because I'm wise to your tricks. We'll get to a point where I think it's like you're able to generate the stress, but you're not able to really recover from it, and it just stops. And if you take steroids, you're like, that roof of your potential development goes here. And if you take steroids and growth hormone, it's like another little level up.
Was there any compounds from your experience you would say people should avoid?
Well, Trenbolone is a big thing now that everyone's, I don't know, it's like some fashion or something, right? And I see people 600 milligrams, 800 milligrams of Trenbolone a week. And then everyone's talking about the side effects, how it, you know, affects you mentally and this and that. I don't remember having any of those problems. But then I only used 2 to 3 Parabolone a week, which was the French. It was just the guy that was like the local dealer, right? Actually, he saw me in the gym. I'd only been training like 6 months or something. He saw me in the gym, he said, all right, lad, blah, blah, blah. He said, you're not in any stuff, are you? I said, no. He said, oh, when you're ready, you talk to me. He said, I'll tell you something. He said, I've been around the game, kid. He said, you got it. I can just see from the quality of your muscle and everything, you can be a great bodybuilder. So, all right, so I'll talk to you later. Anyway, his name was Paul. Paul was the guy that brought the Parabolone in from France. And he said, look, this stuff's very strong. That's why they only make it in 76 milligrams. Everything else is 200 or 250, right? This is 76 for a reason. It's very androgenic, it's very strong, and apparently it's harsh on your kidneys, and don't take too much. So that's what we all, you know, that's what we all thought, and that was the word. I don't know if it's specifically toxic to your kidneys, if it is, or why it would be, but that was the word. And yeah, 2-3 a week. So you're looking at 150 something or 200 milligrams a week maximum.
I've done up to 700 trying a week for about like 3 months.
3 months?
Yeah.
But I think people just take too much. So that's one that's like, unless you're doing a competition, what's the point of taking something like that's a bit harsh? Better off just sticking with testosterone or something, you know?
What's the highest milligram dosage you ever went up to? Because I hear some of the stories from other people in crazy shit.
Yeah.
Which I think people are probably pretty shocked comparatively to what you do probably.
Well, it was a progressive thing. Here's the thing, right? it makes sense to take the minimum amount to get the maximum effect. Yeah? And the first course I took was 20 milligrams a day of D-bol, yeah? And I got amazing effects because I'd never taken anything before. And then progressively over a few years, you know, it got to be a bit more and a bit more. And there is an argument for like you probably need more doses as you get bigger because you're going to have more receptors, more muscle mass and so on. But by the time I got to the Olympia in the off season I generally took a bit more because I wasn't concerned about like, you know, really trying to stay in shape. It was my off season. I'm training heavy. I'm training, you know, I don't mind if I'm carrying a bit of water and everything. So I would say like probably maximum 2,000 milligrams total. And I wouldn't do that for more than probably 5 weeks, and then I taper down, and then a couple of weeks off and go on again. So it was not constant at that dose. That would probably be like 1,000 milligrams testosterone. Wouldn't really go much over that on the test. And some Deca or Boldenone, something like that. And good old D-bol, my favourite. Occasionally I used Anadrol as an Apollon, the 50 milligram ones, but I mean, people say they're toxic, but they're also 50 milligrams. So if you take 2 or 3 a day, that's 100, 150 milligrams going through your liver. I think even if it was Anavar or Winstrol, it'd probably be also problematic. So